Do you think David's gonna be there tonight?
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to write him off. I can't stand this anymore.
What do you mean you can't stand it? What do you think it's like for him?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell him a far more depressing story than his. You know, get this all in perspective.
What, your story? Yes, your wife did leave you, but it's because she caught you sleeping with the dog walker.
No, not my story. Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Ever tell you about this friend of mine named Tony?
No, you never told me about Tony.
Lived on the west side of Chicago. We grew up together.
So what's his story?
He fell in love.
So what?
So he ended up dead, that's what.
Dead?
Yeah, dead, along with 2 others.
3 people dead? How did this happen?
Well, Tony was in love with this girl, Mary. And Mary's brother, Bernie, hated Tony for reasons I can't even remember anymore. But the point is, Bernie hated Tony. Jeez. Yeah, jeez. Yeah. Well, so Tony and Mary hooked up anyway, of course. Love, you know. But Bernie hated the idea of his kid sister hanging out with a guy he couldn't stand. So Tony has this good friend. Can't remember his name. I think they called him Biff.
Wait a minute, Biff? What kind of name is Biff?
It's like a nickname. Can I finish my story?
Please do.
Okay, so Biff was always sticking up for Tony, and he was going to fight it out with Bernie, but Bernie had a knife, and when Biff rushed at him, Bernie stabs him and kills him right in front of Tony.
Oh my God, what did Tony do?
Well, he flips out. He goes nuts, of course. Loony.
Yeah, but what did he do?
He picks up the knife and stabs him.
Oh, stabs who?
Bernie, who do you think?
Oh, right, Bernie.
So now, Mary's brother Bernie's dead. Tony's best friend Biff is dead.
2 down, 1 to go.
So Tony goes back to Mary and explains it all to her, and somehow she gets it. I mean, she's angry at first. I mean, her brother's dead, but she gets it. But the police aren't going to get it. So Mary and Tony decide to run.
Where do they run?
How the hell should I know? Doesn't matter anyway.
Doesn't matter.
No, because Tony goes back to pick up his stuff and runs into Mary's best friend, who tells him that Mary's been killed.
Oh my, now Mary's dead?
Mary's not dead, but Mary's best friend tells Tony she's dead to get back at him for killing Bernie, who is her boyfriend.
This gets worse and worse.
Yes, it does.
So what does Tony do now?
Well, now he really flips out. I mean, he goes out of his mind. He's walking in the streets shouting.
What's he shouting?
I don't remember, but he ends up getting shot by a guy wearing chinos.
Chinos?
Yeah, it's like cotton twill, like a light
Wait a
summer
minute.
pant.
Chinos. Chino, Tony, Mary Maria, Biff Riff, Bernie Bernard. This is West Side Story, man.
No, it's not.